Bell for a little about 5 years now, which is amazing. But I've known Paul and Jason since they started the company and just loved watching this rocket ship. And so for tonight, I've got a great group of ladies and gentlemen that we're going to share a bunch of good tips with you guys over, how to actually grow and go from brand promoter to 4K to 12K. These ladies that we've got on this have done it. They've walked the walk and talked the talk, but they've got some great tips and tricks that we're going to want to share with everyone. But before I do that, just a little bit of housekeeping, and it's just some easy things here. Just a reminder, we have April Mania in play through Sunday. So if you haven't had a chance to participate in this, please do. Double QV on upgrade packs. What a great way to rank up very quickly. And who doesn't want a pair of Maui Gems for the summer? We made this pretty darn easy to go and get a pair of Maui Gems. So please, if you haven't had a chance, take a look at it. If now's the opportunity, that's a great selling point you could go after somebody with. They're going, look, get a free pair of sunglasses and a nice little commissions check within a couple of weeks. Who wouldn't want that? The other thing is we still have our rank advancement promo that ends this month. And this is the perfect time to talk about this with these ladies because we have some rock stars on here who ranked fast. And when I say fast, I mean extremely fast. Mikey and Sarah did it in almost under 20 days. Kelly did it within 2 months. You can do this. So you can quickly go from clicking that promoter button to getting 4K and 12K in these short period of time. So just a reminder, don't lose out, don't lose hope on that, and hopefully what you hear, get your notes. I've got mine ready to go. That what you hear tonight will help you get towards that process. So with that, we will go ahead and get started because, it is Wednesday. We are during dinner hours, and I'm sure people are taken away from their kids and their families and stuff to get going. So I would like to welcome, and I'm going to welcome our two senior leaders here, Danny Angelo and Courtney Glazer. Ladies, thank you very much for pulling yourselves and the team together with me on this and to share some tips and tricks. And Danny, I'm going to start with you. Tell everyone a little bit about your Le-Vel story, and then I want you to introduce both Brittany and then Sarah and Mikey for the group here.
You got it. Thanks, Cliff. So I am Danny Angelo. I have been thriving for 7.5 years. This year will be year number 8. And when I first started, I was a waitress. I was a full-time waitress. My husband was a full-time in the restaurant as well. He was a full-time student. We were first-time full-time parents. And I was actually introduced to the products in February of 2015, and I said no. I feel like the majority of us probably do the first time. And I watched for 5 months. Dana is the one who introduced me, Dana Chuva, to the Thrive Experience. And I watched her for about 5 months. She had all this energy, she was losing weight, she was posting before and afters, and then she posted about her car. She said that this Mercedes that she just got was paid for by this company called Le-Vel, and ultimately that's what sparked my attention. Like I said, I was waitress, first time mama, and I wanted to be home with my daughter full time. And I was more interested in the business than I was in the products. I was more interested in coming home with my daughter full time. I was interested in maybe $100 extra a week to help pay for groceries, diapers, date nights, anything to basically take off that financial burden that we had struggling as first-time parents. We were on government assistance, we were on food stamps, my daughter was on Medicaid, and I was honestly just ready to change my story. I was ready to change the direction of my life. And fortunately for all of us, we fell into a product that actually works. So my mindset very quickly went from $100 extra a week to, oh my God, this is going to be so easy to share with everybody, right? It's like a good Netflix series or a good restaurant. It's just easy to talk about. And that's what this became for me. I was seeing results. I was feeling results. I was not taking naps. I was feeling more productive in my day. I was checking things off my to-do list. And people were noticing. I was talking to people in the restaurant. I was being very intentional about my products. I was very out loud about my products. I was posting on social media, my before and afters. People knew I was thriving. And our team grew very quickly. And, the vision for what this business could do for my family and I was painted very fast. I actually quit the restaurant industry a month in, and I was like, my time is better spent here. And I put all my eggs in this Thrive basket. My team was growing and thriving. And to be honest with you, our team was growing and thriving for 5-6 years. We would see momentum up, up, up. And, my team members, my leaders were seeing financial freedom. We were all experiencing financial freedom, time freedom, flexibility in our days, options in our world. And to be honest with you, about a year ago, and if you're a veteran on this call, you might relate to me, and I might be able to, maybe help. And if you're brand new on this call, maybe years into this business, you'll remember my story, and it can maybe help you out of this. But I hit a very mental wall in my business. I was very dedicated to my business 24/7, no boundaries. I left it all on the table. Anything you guys needed, I was answering within seconds. I was responding to messages. I was answering phone calls. I was giving it my all. And I realized, like, wow, like, I've got kids here and I need to be more present, and I need to set boundaries, and I need to step back. And as an almost 7-year leader, almost 8-year leader, I took a step back. I even removed myself from social media for about 3 or 4 months. And I had to find my happiness outside of this business, right? Like I had to, I didn't want to be defined. I didn't want my happiness to be defined by whether my business was up or whether my business was down. I didn't want my happiness to be defined by whether my paycheck was high or whether my paycheck was low. I wanted to feel happy on the inside all the time, because here's what happens if you're not happy on the inside. You present yourself negative to the people that you're around all the time, and that's my kids. And I didn't like the way that I was. So I found happiness and joy in my days. I found things. I even got to a point, guys, where I was like, is this what I want to do? Is this the business for me? Are these the products I want to share? And to be honest with you, again, 8 years in, you see a lot of people leave Le-Vel and you see a lot of people come back. And I was like, I do not want to be one of those people. So I need to take a step back. I need to be a solution to my own problems. And I found happiness in my days again. And I love that Mikey and Sarah, guys, if I literally made the decision to come back into my business, full throttle, like a month before Mikey and Sarah joined my team. And I love the leader I can be for them now. I'm a better leader. I'm a better human. I'm a better person because I took that time for myself and I can show compassion for others. I show up better. And I love that. Can I also say 8 years into my business, someone came in smashing all the records that my business has ever seen. So if you're out there and if you're listening and you feel like your business, you're 1 year in, 2 year in, 3 year in, and you're like, nothing's moving, literally anybody can come into your business any second, any minute, at any point. And Mikey and Sarah proved that 8 years in. It took my business 8 years to see the growth that Mikey and Sarah have brought to our team. But my business also changed 6 years ago with Brittany Walker. She changed my business big time. We're a huge team in our businesses. We lean on each other. We support each other. And I'm going to go ahead and kind of pass it over to her so that she can share her story. And go ahead, Britt, tell us.
Hi, guys. I am Brittany Walker. I am now almost 6 years into the business as a brand promoter. My story is totally different than Danny's. She came in from a business perspective, and I was very anti MLM, pyramid scheme, all those words that you can think of and all those objections that you get out in the field. I was that person that was a total hater. And so it's funny because I started in 2017, but a mutual friend of Danny and I actually got me in a room with Danny 2 years prior to when I actually, bought as a customer. And I didn't know I was going to be put in a room with her. She had just gotten her car at $12K. And I felt like I got cornered and they were going to try to sell me on a business opportunity. And I'm like, heck no. She added me as a friend on Facebook. We stayed connected for 2 years. And I had reached a point where at the time I was a banker. I was working and doing commercial lending for a little community bank. So 9 to 5, mostly desk job. I just was lacking the motivation to do the job because, the role that I was in was very high pressure sales. And, it takes a lot of self-motivation to do cold calls, to go, knock on people's doors and try to get them to buy money from you. And so I just didn't have what I needed. And I'm like, man, I need something. I don't have energy. I just feel like, lazy, just, slowed down. I wanted to, feel motivated again, be productive again. I was burning out in my career. So I'd watched her for 2 years and I'm like, okay, obviously if she's, she got the car, now she's, posting about this beautiful house that she bought. I know her and her husband are doing it full time. I'll buy as a customer. So I reached out to Danny and I bought as a customer to get started. Had absolutely no interest in the business. And I was convinced that I would never do the business. Until my mom asked about the products I was taking about 3 days in on my Thrive experience. And she literally noticed a difference in just my personality and my mood. And she's like, what are you doing? And at the time, my mom was actually using another product from a different company that she'd been using for years. And so I told her, I said, I'm using Thrive. She had no idea what it was. She didn't really want to try it because she, loved the product that she was already using. And I was like, you don't have a choice. Like, you are trying these products. And so I took them over to her house. And the very first day, that afternoon, she texted me and she's like, hey, how do I go buy it? And so I texted Danny and I said, hey, I'm going to send you my mom because, I didn't want to do the business. And anyway, she basically told me, nope, you're flipping a promoter. Oh, it doesn't matter because you'll just make commissions. You can just, you don't have to, there's no difference in being a customer or a promoter. So that's how she hooked me. I had a slow start, I would say, in my first 2 weeks because I was very intimidated to make Facebook posts. I was very intimidated to talk about the products I was using because of the stigma of this industry. And so if it wasn't, I will say this, if it wasn't for my upline literally texting me every single day, telling me, hey, take your 3 steps. Hey, you're working towards this VIP bonus. You just need 1 customer. You just need 1 promoter. She was on me, and I will give her credit because if it wasn't for her being there, doing that in those first 2 weeks, I would not be here today. And so, the VIP 800 paycheck is what completely changed my business and my life. Because at the time, the house that I was living in, I lived in a little townhome. My mortgage was like $800 a month. And that VIP 800 paycheck was, with the commissions combined and everything, it was over $800. And I'm like, holy cow, I just paid my mortgage, and I didn't really do the work that all that much work. Imagine if I just poured everything into this business. And so that's what I did. I went all in, and my team went 200K in 4 months. And, we achieved Lavelle Millionaire within 2.5 years. And it was explosive. It was incredible growth. And honestly, it's something that I never pictured, being something that would happen to me because I didn't have a huge following. I'd never done network marketing. I was just a banker. I hung out with the same, circle of friends. But, here's the thing about this company and this business. It's very, very simple. And I think that the one takeaway I would like you all to have from this call tonight is that you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Okay. The wheel has been invented and it has been proven in this company. You really don't find a lot of other companies that have as many 200Ks and Lavelle Millionaires that stand on that stage every year at Thrivepalooza. I mean, you'll see when you go to Colorado, you'll see how many people are on that stage. It's so many that there's overflow. Okay. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Clearly we have a system and a process that works, and it's very simple. It's the VIP fast starts duplicated over and over and over again in your business. And it all breaks down to the VIP bonuses. It's funny because in 2018, I was a speaker at Thrivepalooza on the same exact topic, and I'll give you the same exact advice. It's duplicating those VIPs. And so, it's been a long ride. I shared a lot of the same obstacles that Danny did. And, I think you guys are really going to benefit from hearing the people who are doing this right now, right? Because when I started, the business was 5 years old. Nobody knew what Thrive was. Nobody knew what Lavelle was. Nobody had heard of it. And to this day, there's still, obviously the majority of people still haven't. But when you've been doing it in an area for a while, like people have heard about it. But for someone like Mikey and Sarah Oliva to come in and, 10 years into the business, no network marketing experience, and to do what they have done in such a short period of time, I think you guys are really going to benefit from their advice and their tips. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it off to these two rock stars.
Hi guys, Mikey and Sarah.
Hi.
I guess you want to start off with our story. Tell them.
Yeah, so it was March 4. We went to an arm wrestling tournament in DeLand in Florida, and I'm a professional arm wrestler. I've done that for 17 years. I have a pretty big following already. But anyways, we went to this tournament and I saw Dan, a longtime friend of mine, and Mike wearing a big bright pink sticker on his forearm. So I called him over and said, "Hey Dan, what's up with the sticker on your arm?" Because I remember seeing it on Facebook here and there over 5 years. And he sat down and we talked for about an hour and he told us about the product and he was just explaining how good it made him feel. So me and Mike, we looked at each other and we were like, sure, yeah.
We've been in the fitness industry for a while. So when we hear, vitamins make you feel good, we definitely have an idea of what we thought he meant by that. Dan also then started to tell us a little bit about the business, and I'll be honest, I didn't want to hear it at all. I almost lost interest in the product at that point. She continued the conversation. We went home. I almost hate to admit this, but we sat on the samples a full day. We didn't touch them in the first 24 hours. I know it's embarrassing.
Yeah, Dan actually texted us because it was on a Saturday. On Sunday, he texted us and said, "Hey, did you try it?" And we're like, "No, we forgot all about it." And he was like, "Come on, man, try it. Let's try it."
Yeah.
So Monday came and we tried it, and
yeah, we tried it. We were not expecting much. We were expecting it to make us feel good the way vitamins do. And I'll tell you, both of us are one of the fortunate ones that hit very, very quickly within 30 minutes. So much so that I even questioned what was going on. I said, this can't be a Pat's doing this. The rest of the day continued, the great mood.
yeah.
We called Dan. We said, listen, we're in. We definitely want to order this product. Dan suggested we meet with Danny and Brittany. They took the time out of their day to meet with us. We all had dinner.
And that's something I just need to add this. Like, I was so amazed how with such a short notice, these two women with husbands and kids and full-time businesses, they dropped everything and met us like 2 hours out of their way and had dinner with us. And it changed everything.
Yeah, it meant a lot. It definitely meant a lot. And
Yeah.
at that point, we were sold on the product. After talking with everybody at dinner, we were super excited to get into promoting the product. To be honest, though, the motivation was the passion of what it had done for us in our lives. We struggled a lot with finding happiness and maintaining happiness, even some communication issues. As much as I hate to admit this now, we had a lot of communication issues, stuff that were bigger issues that really shouldn't have even been issues. And since being on the vitamins, it really gives you a different outlook on things, which helped us tremendously. And I think the biggest thing really from there, we just told our story, talked about how much we love the product and how much it had done for us. And it just piqued so much interest that we really, I don't think at any point we even really had to sell anything. We just talked about it and people asked us and we explained in depth, what it did. And I mean, before you know it, we're pulling in promoters who were hit the ground running just like us. They felt the same way. They wanted to spread it. And next thing you know, customers are coming in left and right. And it's, it's been an amazing journey, both now on the product side and even on the business side in 5 weeks. It is, we've gone from 0 to 100.
Yeah, life-changing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's been incredible for sure.
Yeah.
No, and that's amazing. And what I think, for those that are listening to us right now, I mean, come on, like how many people are skeptical right off the bat, right? You just heard 4 people, sorry, I don't want to count you guys as one and, you're each individual, but 4 people that were skeptical, right? I don't want to do this. This is MLME. This isn't going to change. No, right? Try the samples. That's all it takes. Like, are you a day 1 person, a day 3 person? you're going to feel the difference. And so I think if you could hear from what, read between the lines on this, it's, the sampling works. And whether you give them for free or you sell them, that's what you guys did. You got on, you're like, no, you got to try this. This is what does it. So, well, look, I want to bring on Courtney. I want you to tell your story and introduce Kelly as well, too, because I'm sure there's going to be some similarities here for some odd reason, but welcome to the call, and I'll introduce yourself, introduce Kelly, and then I really want to get into what are those core things that you guys do that got you going very quickly. So.
I heard Danny talking and I'm like, that is me. Like, so similar to just the ups and the downs and the struggles. I'm going to take you back. I've been thriving for almost 6 years. And if you know my personality, I love novelty in my life. I crave it. I have only done 3 things for this long in my life, and that is be married, be a mom, and thrive. Everything else, like my cars, my houses, my pets, like everything else. But these are my 3 staples in my life. When I was first introduced to Thrive, I actually was the behavior specialist. And the nurse at my school was like, leaving samples in the lounge. This is right whenever Thrive first started. And I thought she was crazy. I was like, you're insane. She quit her job as a nurse at our school. And I remember her driving an Escalade, and I was like, okay, she's lost it. Like, there's no way. There's no way, no how. I was like, man, that's just crazy. She walked away from a professional career. I had no idea that years later, Thrive would enter my life at a completely different time when I had lost my professional career. And I was just at the lowest of lows. And I thought back like, you know what? Network marketing. I got involved with a different company. And I saw the vision of the business, kind of like Danny, but it wasn't the right fit for me. So then Thrive came back up on my radar, and I messaged a person, jumped right in. I did see the business opportunity right off the bat. Our team went 200K in 5 months, so very fast, like Brittany, or actually 6 months. Then we went 200K on my husband's account, and it was doing 2 things. It was taking Thrive every day and sharing Thrive every day. Like, those are your 2 jobs, and that's it. It's not yes, goodness, whenever you find a Mikey, like you and your wife, and a Kelly, oh yeah, that is like the cherry on top. But literally, you can win have so many big wins in between finding your rock stars by just taking the product you love and sharing the product you love. Those are your 2 jobs every single day. I will tell you, in my almost 6 years here, I've had very many ups, very many downs. I came in business focused. I needed this, like I needed air to breathe. And once I saw it was my first lifestyle getaway, and I made it to the VIP event, and I will never forget. Paul's like, you're going to talk. And I'm like, well, actually, he told me we're going to sing Amazing Grace together. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I am not singing. And he's like, just kidding. I want you to talk to them. And I'm like, okay. And it was that February in 2018. And I looked at a group of people who some people may remember. I can't even believe I said these things, but I was like, I will get your neighbor on Thrive if you don't. I was like, I'm going 200K this month, and either you're going to get your friends and your neighbors on Thrive, or I am. I'm going to find them. And that was my mentality. I didn't know how. I knew our business model. Whenever we would enroll someone, if you're a veteran in this industry, you'll get this. And you sell $100 and it moves by $100. I thought, what is going on here? Like, this is wild. And then the way I felt, and the people that I was giving samples to that were literally like, hey, I'm a couple of miles down the road, I need more shakes. And I'm like, dude, like, okay, hold on. I was running the daycare at the time. That quickly closed. My daycare closed. This became my full-time gig. And I will tell you, I've lost rank 5 times. I've lost myself. I've never lost my mission. No matter how many times I've felt defeated, I've lost team members, I've lost paychecks. I can tell you so many things I've lost, but I never lost my love for the products or my vision. It may have felt like it was blurry. It may have felt like, oh, it was raining and storming, But those products, when I took them every single morning and I got back to just, I love those. That's where I found my joy, not in my volume being up or my volume being down. If you're a veteran listening to this call, I hope that I can bring some light to, it's not always great, but our products are. It's not always simple, but our products are. And when you go back to those two things, love your products and take them and share those products, and that's your only job, that's all you can control. And the rest will fall into place. The money will come, the ranks will come, and they may go and they may come again. But if you just can focus on those two things, you can build something that you can't wrap your head around. That February, when we went 200K, rank repeat bonuses dropped. And if you don't know what those are, that was big money. There was, I'll just say this and I can get in trouble later, it's fine. There was $400,000 on the line, and I was gonna get it. I was gonna my whole mission was, I just have to talk to enough people. I've just got to find enough people. And when I saw what this company blessed people with just by sharing a product, I can't ever unsee that. I could never go back to work. Those of you that love your job, great. I didn't. I couldn't unsee that. I want to introduce to you someone who is very special to me that I have actually known for quite some time. She is a rock star. She has a mindset, a business mindset, like I just crave to be around it. This is what keeps us exciting, the love for the product and the other people falling in love or falling back in love, in Kelly's case, with the products, and keeps you focused on the positive. So I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to let you talk, Kelly.
Thank you so much. Hi guys, I'm Kelly. 5 years ago, really to this month, I was in another health and wellness company, and I had a lot of success there, but something wasn't sitting right with me, and I just wasn't really happy. I didn't really know what it was. I honestly wasn't really searching for another company. I was just like, is network marketing still for me? Am I even good at this? I was burnt out. I was exhausted. But because I had like a taste of success there, I knew what this industry could do. And I feel like once you get a taste of that and you catch that network marketing bug, it's so hard to let go of that, because you know the freedom that this can bring. And it's not just the money, you guys, it's the time freedom. It's getting to live life on your own terms without having to clock into a job. So I was skeptical of Thrive just like everybody else. I saw it all over Facebook. This would have been 2018. And so Thrive was about 5 years old at that point. But I kept seeing these reviews that people who were in the company were sharing of their customers. And me personally, like, I never had reviews like that from my customers. I always kind of felt like I'd been dragging them along and kind of begging them to stay on the product and, praying that they would love it. But I didn't really have like rave reviews all the time, but I kept seeing these reviews about how people were feeling so good and having so much energy and not drinking coffee and in a good mood. And I was like, wait a second, like, I take health products all the time and I'm very conscious about what goes in my body. And like, I don't feel like that. Like, I was sluggish. So curiosity got the best of me. And I reached out to try it. And honestly, part of me reached out, I think, to prove that it didn't work because I was like, there's just no way, right? But no, it did. It worked. It worked day one for me. And I was kind of blown away. But then I think days 2 and 3 really sealed the deal. And so I jumped into the business shortly after that in May. And that was a really tough season of my life, because leaving that old business and stepping into a new one, I was terrified out of my mind. I didn't know if I was going to be able to build again. I didn't know, if anybody would ever trust me again. But I was so excited about the potential of what Thrive could offer because the product was so good. And so I jumped in. We hit 12K very fast in like 2 weeks, 40K our first month. And I was on cloud a million, like literally a million. I was so happy. My customers were happy. My team was happy. We were popping out ranks left and right. Big bonuses left and right. At the time, there were $4,000 and $12,000 bonuses. And we had so many of those. And so fast forward a little bit, I earned that first lifestyle getaway. It was to Cabo in 2018 in the fall. And I already knew I loved Lavelle. I already knew I loved Thrive, but like being there at that event, I was completely just blown away. And I knew that like this was home for me. So fast forward again, 3.5 years, I found myself in a massive life change. So when I started Le-Vel, I was a married stay-at-home mom, and I'd always been a stay-at-home mom. And so I was with my kids 100% of the time. I did network marketing to kind of like give me a sense of purpose. My husband's income at the time was able to kind of cover all of our bills, but I needed something that was mine outside of just motherhood. But in September of 21, my husband and I split and we got a divorce. And so then I was on my own for the very first time. And this might not make sense to a lot of people. It made sense to me at the time, but I walked away from my Le-Vel business in that month. I felt it on my heart that like God was kind of uprooting me from all that I had known. And I felt that like I needed to leave this place. Not that I was mad. I love my products. I was still taking them every day. Business honestly was still doing very well. But I just felt like I had to restart. And so I did. I restarted somewhere else and we did fine. Like we did great. But my heart wasn't in it. And I found that out really, really quickly. And so I tried again to move to another company and found out just as quickly, like my heart wasn't there either. And that's because I gave it away a long time ago to this company. And that entire time away, you guys, when I say I was like homesick for this, like I was crying myself to sleep over missing Le-Vel. I was literally sick to my stomach thinking that I had made the biggest mistake ever. I missed the people here. I missed my products. I missed really everything about this place. We are so lucky with everything that we have here. And I can tell you from experience, it's not like that out there, you guys. Like, I'm not here to bash any other company. There's a lot of good products. There's a lot of great companies and CEOs. But when you have like the magic combination of Thrive plus our corporate team plus the comp plan, like, it's really, really hard to find. So December, I would say, was probably my lowest of low this past year. And I saw Thrive Elite was coming out. And that same kind of curiosity that got me going before, it came right back. I was like, you know what? I'm going to try Thrive Elite one more time. Like, what if this works for me just like it worked before? Like, what if I fall back in love? Could I actually build again? I didn't know. But I tried it. Same thing. Day one, I cried, you guys. And I'm not even really a crier, but I was like, oh my gosh, like, the amount that I'd missed these products, it was overwhelming. And so then it was like 3 days later or something, they dropped rank match bonuses. And, I saw 4,000, 12,000, 40,000, all the way up to 200. And I thought, this is my sign. I'm in. I know I can come and do this. I know I can teach my team to do this again. We've done it before. We're going to do it again. Are we going to do it as fast? I don't know. And honestly, I don't care because this is home and this is where I want to be. So yeah, we jumped in. The first 2 weeks, I was still pretty terrified. I posted a lot, but like I wasn't really in my stories very much. Something clicked at that second week mark, and we just took off running. And honestly, like I feel like I haven't even come up for air yet. Like I don't even really know what happened, but I do know that like anything is possible. And I hate sounding like that, but like literally, you guys, what they have on the table for us right now, what corporate is always dangling for us to run to. Run like your pants are on fire and don't even look up. Don't take a breath because I'm telling you, you're gonna stand up at the end of the month and just like be on the top of this mountain that you thought you're never gonna be able to get to.
That's amazing. And Kelly, I mean, the fact, here's what I love. You left, you went and did your own thing, right? Left on good terms and came back and realized this is where I want to be. We welcome anyone back, right? That's the best thing about it. Sit out your required time. We got to follow the rules a little bit, but we're not, if someone wants to share and someone wants to be a thriver, why are we going to stop you? I think what we've seen the most of is that we've seen a ton of new growth since January when we launched all of this. What we've really seen is people just coming either back that, decided to go try and do something different, or that were just they went idle, right? They just kind of sat back and weren't doing much. So having everybody back, having, the engine firing on all cylinders is key. So, when you look at, and this is, Kelly, to you and to Sarah and to Mikey, I've got a question for you. Since you guys are I'm brand new, right? According to the clock that's in the system that I look at, what are those 1 or 2 things that you would tell somebody that was like, if they were watching right now, right? I just clicked promoter today. What 1 or 2 things should I focus on? Should it be referred to? Should it be VIP 400, 800, 1600? Should it be like, do I need to get to 12K tomorrow? I mean, what would those 1 or 2 things you would tell somebody right now be, if you could, if you're talking to the masses at this point?
I would say passion. Lead with passion. Talk about the product. don't try to push sales. I think it's great that we set goals for ourselves with our, like Brittany says, the bread and butter of this company, those VIPs. But I don't know that should be the goal. I think the goal should be showing people an amazing product. And then you're going to fill those VIPs. So my key to success would definitely be passionate. Talk about what it's done for you. Just share your story.
Yeah, and consistency too. That's something that Brittany and Danny taught us day one. Like you have to be consistent. Like I was super tired the other night and I was like, oh, I'm not going to post anything. Then I snapped a picture of a product and the next day I had 2 sales because of that one picture. So like you never know what people are watching all the time, and it might be the right moment where they are like, all right, let's do it. So
yeah. And I love that. So I would say like mine is belief, you guys. My belief is so sky high in this product and in this company that like I feel like it just kind of oozes from me. So like I never feel like I am being salesy. I never feel like I'm like begging people to come along on my journey and to like join my team. I just let them know what I'm doing and where I'm going, and that I want them to be a part of it with me, because like I know where we're going, I know where we're headed, and I want to bring as many people as possible. So I do lead with VIP 800. When I'm training my new team, I, of course, like, I want to know, like, what's your overall goal, right? Like, what rank are you looking at? How much you trying to make? But like, I don't let them focus on 4K or panicking about VIP 1600. We are looking solely at VIP 400 and specifically your first customer. Our team is really, really good about celebrating every single win. And what I mean by that is like, I'm in Cloud Office a million times a day. And I do that because I want to be the first person on my team to see when someone has signed a customer or a promoter, and reach out to them and be like, hey, I'm proud of you. Like, wow, this is amazing. Like, this is huge. I'm so glad that you got that customer and like, you are killing this right now. And I think that like, sometimes your team just needs to see that like, you see them, because I think that like, sometimes it can be hard when people are ranking up so fast, and there's people who just kind of like feel like they're falling, and maybe they're not going as fast, or maybe they're not as good as somebody else. But like, I try to highlight as much as I can every single person on the team and let them know that like, whether you're signing a customer for 30 QV sleep gummies or 180 elite, like your job here matters. You're doing a good job. And like, I'm really, really proud of you.
Awesome. Yeah. And Courtney, Brittany, Danny, same question to you three as well. I mean, you've been here, right? You've developed many 200K teams and stuff. What would you tell, but right now, the way we're focusing on is new growth as well too. So, you're wanting to build that your next rock star with you. What are you as you're bringing people on, what are you guys leading with to get them interested? Let me look at it that way, because if I'm a brand new promoter, what do I do, right? So what should I be talking about? Where do you guys start with brand new people at this point?
Well, the first place I start, and Sarah and Mike, you're going to know because I drill this into every single person's head that comes in my team. We do a welcome call with an upline of 40K or upline within 24 hours. And sometimes that's not achievable with, depending on where people want to take this business. Some are not, all in the very beginning. And so you might struggle to get them on that call, but I literally try to push everybody to do a welcome call in their first 24 to 48 hours with at least a 40K leader. Another thing too, like, I'm trying, as we're on this call, I'm trying to think back, like when I was going from 4K to 12K, making that jump, what did I do? And to be honest, there's a promoter that came in on our team under Sarah and Mikey, and she hit 4K very fast. And she said, I believe in immersion, immersing yourself into the business and into the products and into this company, and, actually taking it upon yourself, like you just have to be a product of the product, right? How are you going to go on social media and be like, oh yeah, here's Thrive, but I'm not living, I'm not thriving, I'm not thriving out loud. It's going to be very difficult. Thrive out loud, you guys. Your social media, not saying it has to be a highlight reel, because I think authenticity is so important in this business, but I mean, the products should be changing your life, and you really need to be sharing that with people, because the reality is there's so many people out there, you guys, that need what we have, okay? Whether it be financially or whether it be, the product that we have gold in our hands. So be a product of the product, get your leaders involved and reach up, don't expect your leaders to always reach down. If you want this, go after it, go and connect. When you get off this call tonight, if you have not connected to your direct in line 200K leader, reach out to them, send them a message, reach up, ask people the people that are where you want to be, whether it be 4K, 12K, or 40K, reach out to them. When Danny brought me on and I hit 4K, she's like, you're going to, be on a Zoom with me tonight. And I was like, my first Zoom ever. And I was so nervous, but the other people she had on, had just hit 12 and 40K. So the first thing I did is I went on Facebook and I friend requested them. And I said, how did you do it? What do I do? Reach out to people, ask them. You just have to immerse yourself in the product, the business, and the culture.
I love that. I will follow up with urgency, stamina, and passion. You have to have a sense of urgency. I don't want you to envision this business as having a sense of urgency because you need to cross a finish line, but there are time-sensitive goals that you will always have in this business. And the way you talk to your following, the way you talk to a customer, the way you talk to your team members, you are going to give them that sense of urgency. You're going to be able to transfer that sense of urgency from you to them. And whenever you have that, you can smash goals. You can make magic happen with what's on the line. Heck yeah, you better believe I'm going to go for every single bit of it. If you're a veteran, you're not a one-hit wonder. That's something I have to tell myself all day long, every day. You're not washed up. You're not a one-hit wonder. Maybe you put your business down like Danny did and you reassessed and you recalibrated, but you can still pick it back up and go and help somebody hit a goal and get a rank match bonus. If you're already at 200K, you're never a one-hit wonder here. Your passion is always going to be there. Stamina. You have to be here for way more than next Tuesday's paycheck. If you're here for next Tuesday's paycheck and next Tuesday's paycheck sucks, or isn't maybe what you thought it would be, because we all have those, a veteran can tell you, you won't ever make it. You've got to have the stamina and the endurance to endure the hard times in order to get to the good times. Another thing I tell people is, you know where to find me, but I'm not coming to find you. So if you, Kelly and me, we talk all the time. I didn't even enroll Kelly, but we talk all of the time. Why? I know she's hungry. I know she's asking questions all day. The last day of the month, we Zoomed for like 5 hours working on her back office, her waiting room. I hate to say it, but the squeaky wheel gets the grease. It's really the truth in this business. This is a volunteer army, and I will show up and I will be in the trenches with my new people, my old people every single day, but you've got to show up for you. You've got to be self-motivated. You've got to decide to be a self-starter, and you've got to have that self-confidence. And when you show up with those things, your leader can give you the skill set. They can teach you the skill set, but they can't give you the mindset. So really just having that sense of urgency mixed with stamina, endurance in your mind, that you're here for the long haul, not the short, quick goals. And having that confidence and that passion of what we do is fun. What we do is freaking awesome. If you haven't realized it yet, I can't wait for the day that it clicks in your head. It didn't click in my head until December of 2017 after I'd already closed my daycare. And then I'm like, is this industry even real? And I was sitting in what are we doing? Like, Courtney, did you really just do that? Where I was sitting in a conference with a bunch of different companies, and imagine being in a room and hearing car models like that you've never heard of. And you're like, what? That's how I felt. I thought, this is so much bigger than I could have ever wrapped my mind around, and we're partnered with the best. Like, I can't wait for that to click in your head if maybe you're still scared or you're still nervous, but you get that vision of, like, I tell my team, like, you can make gangster money by taking some really good products. It's game over. It's game over once that happens. Danny, I'll pass it to you.
Okay. So, I feel like Brittany and Courtney really nailed it. And they both said a lot of things where I was like, oh my God, I need to say this. I need to say this. I need to say this. But I honestly forgot what I needed to say. But I think about Sarah and Mikey and how they came into this business. And I said it on a Zoom a couple nights ago, how I sometimes hesitate sharing how much they've grown in such a short amount of time. They literally, her first Facebook post was March 9th. They had $0 in sales, and March 31st, they ended close to $100,000 in sales. And sometimes I'm like, I feel bad sharing that because not everybody can do that. But then I'm like, but what if everybody came into this business and did freaking what Sarah and Mikey did? What if they all showed up like Sarah and Mikey did? Like, people don't do what Sarah and Mikey do, which is why they don't see what Sarah and Mikey see. And it's very simple as far as what they're doing. And Courtney touched on it too. They take the products, they share the products. You don't know how many times I've talked to my team and they're like, Danny, I'm not growing. I'm not, and I'm like, well, when's the last time you shared your story? And they're like, oh, I don't even know when the last time I shared my story. And I'm like, well, hello, like, this is like a storytelling business. That's like, if you're not sharing your story, how do you expect that your business is ever going to grow? And also, like Courtney said, like, if you're not going to get your neighbor, I'm going to get your neighbor. I have that mindset too. Like, I am like, if you're not going to get this person, I'm adding them as a friend, and I'm going to get this person, because like, and that's how I think too. Like, there's and it's funny because people are like, this product is, this business is so saturated, everybody's thriving, everybody's doing this. And I'm like, well, no, everybody on your Facebook is thriving. But if you walk outside, nobody's thriving. And I also said, when I came into this business, 18-year-olds today were 11. Everybody's turning 8. There's someone turning 18 every single day. So this network and the amount of people that you can reach is literally limitless, literally forever. So this business will never be saturated, but these products will always work. And like I said, if people did what Mikey and Sarah did, came in hot, passionate, calling people, talking to people, thinking who would be good at this business, who would reap benefits of this product, and actually taking action and reaching out and telling them, like, listen, like, you need this, you need to team up. Let's make some gangsta money together. Like, like they're being intentional about the products, and it's because they're leading with passion for what these products are doing. And they probably tell their story 20 times a day. And if people on this call did that, I wonder if they would see the type of growth that Sarah and Mikey see. And I feel like I know that this business is as simple as these products. And the longer you're in this business, the more you try to evolve and add things and do these things and challenge groups and all these chat groups and all these, specific Facebook posts, when all you really have to do is walk outside your door and just freaking share Thrive and share your story and get the product into people's hands. I mean, that's it.
Yeah, I think that's, you guys are all, I mean, there's a consistent theme that goes through this, and it's GPOT, right? Get people on Thrive. That's the easiest way to prove somebody who's skeptical about this wrong, right off the bat. All right, fine. I'm gonna give you 3 days worth of samples. I love what Paul used to say is, look, you're going to come over to my house. We're going to take the capsules. We're going to sit back and we're going to talk for about 20, 25 minutes. You're going to do the shake and put the DFT on, and you're going to walk out the door. And I'm going to call you tomorrow, and you're going to do the same thing. And I guarantee by tomorrow, you're going to be feeling something. If not by day 3, they do it. He does it a little more eloquently than I can do on that one. He's a little faster in it. He's done it a couple of times, but it's true. Once you get people to where they can actually feel the benefit of premium nutrition in their system, at that point in time, why would you not want to be doing this? So I think and we've got multiple avenues. Like, you can go rocket ship fast, start signing up promoter, start selling VIP, 400, hitting VIP 400, 800, 1600, selling those VIP upgrades, getting people that 200K, paid as a 200K promotional payout very quick. There's a way to go. Some people might go the slow route. Maybe I'll just get 2 customers. I'll be a customer and I'll thrive for free. I mean, I think a lot of people forget our customers can thrive for free, right? They can get 2 people going on that. And then once they get a 3rd person, sweetie, you need to be a promoter. I think I've heard Courtney say that a couple times. Why are you not making a couple extra dollars off of this? And compliance can slap my hands on it, but that's surely what it is. Turn the side gig into a full-time gig on this. But what I really loved, and I think one thing that all of y'all do really well, is celebrating success. Whether it's someone who just started, it's someone who just hit VIP 400, 800. I follow a lot of you on Instagram, and you guys are promoting the heck out of people who are getting their first win. I've also, I see a lot of our friends on here as well too. Everyone does it. Twin, Margie, Allie, Jack, you guys do it as well too. Everybody celebrates success. Even like Ultimate Thriver that's out right now. I'm just seeing my feed flooded with, look who's on my team, who's in the running at this point in time. Look what's going on. look, Thrive changes lives, whether it's financially, whether it's emotionally, whether it's physically, someone out there can use it. And we are just at the tip of the iceberg. I think, last I checked, we're coming on 13 or 14 million people in our database. The US has over 370, I think, right now, or something by the census. Australia, New Zealand, my friends in Canada, we've just started at this point in time. So the opportunities are there. It's how uncomfortable do you really feel talking to your neighbor about it? You don't have to be the hard sale. You just, wearing your DFT will strike up every conversation possible. What is that, right? So we're coming on the top of the hour. I'm gonna wrap this up with us, and ask, ladies and gentlemen, is there anything else you would like to share with the teams that's on here now before we close out? One little final word of wisdom. I'm going to go to my left and down. So Brittany, I'm going to go first with you, then Mikey, Sarah, Courtney, Kelly, and Danny, you get to close us out at this point.
So my last piece of advice would be to make this business fun. Bring fun to your business, because everyone that is watching you on social media, they're doing something else to earn an income, and a majority of them are probably in a 40-hour corporate America style job. And if you really think they want to come home and work all night and it doesn't look fun, you're not going to attract and keep people in your business if you're not making it fun. So how do you make it fun? Get out there and do events, you guys. Like when I first started, Danny and I were at this place called Fishbones doing Thrive After 5 happy hours every single week, every Thursday. And we started off with 3 or 4 people and we grew, to 50, 60, 70 people. We were packing out the entire patio. But you take pictures, you post it on social media, you show that you're building a community, and people want to be a part of that, especially coming out of a pandemic where people were, in their houses and only, communicating virtually. So make it fun. And that would be my last piece of advice. So I'll hand it off to Danny.
Sorry, I thought it was last, but I don't have to be last. But fun, yes, huge, because I feel like that's what happened to me when I had to take a step back. I lost the fun and the joy that was not in my business anymore. And obviously to be consistent in something, you have to be enjoying that you're doing it. So mine's different. And I like to say this to my teams because I feel like I've been here a long time, and when these bonus seasons come around, it's like everybody's back, everybody's here, everybody's back. And my piece of advice is your residual income from this business, working it like you are currently for these last 4 months, can be way bigger than a bonus payout, way bigger. So I feel like when you are hustling this business these last 4 months, if you would do the same doing for an entire year, wouldn't you want to see that bonus payout every single week instead of once a month? Don't stop doing what you're doing on April 30th or on May 1st. Give yourself one whole year, 4K, 12K, 40K, 80K, 200K. Let's see those bonus payouts become weekly payouts. That's true generational wealth. That's true residual income. And that's when this business is truly going to change your life. So if you're capable of earning a 4K, 12K, 40K, 80K, 200K bonus, you are more than capable of continuing to work this business and seeing where it takes you. So that's my piece of advice, is to show up just as hard as you did in the month of April on May 1st until 2024.
Very good. Mikey, Sarah?
I would say my last piece of advice, maybe teamwork. Work with your upline. We mentioned that. Work with your downline. Work sideways. Work with people that aren't even in your network. Validate each other. The more you put out, the more you'll get back. And one of the funnest things is it's the teamwork. It's the camaraderie between all of us. I mean, we're all happy. We're all happy together and working together. It's just stronger together.
Kelly?
I would say my last piece of advice, for anyone who's trying to hit 4K or trying to hit 12K or 40 and above, and you're like, but how am I going to do it? Right? How am I going to get the customers in the system? I don't know how to sign promoters. How am I going to sign promoters? You guys, we keep this so simple here. Trial your face off. That is like the number one tip that I tell my team. If you don't know how to get a customer in the system and you don't know how to post about that, talk about your trials all the time, because we know if we can just get that trial in their hand, you actually have to do none of the talking because Thrive is going to talk for you. So I kind of like romanticize, you know, on the front end, how they're going to feel. I'm so anxious to get a trial in people's hands. I'm like, you are going to love this. You're going to feel so good. Middle of the day, you're going to be thanking me. Your mood's going to be amazing. You're probably going to tell me that you're sleeping like a baby. So I tell them on the front end exactly what I know they're going to feel. And then that way, when they feel that, they're like, that girl was right. That girl's right. This product works. And I don't have to say anything else, you guys. I don't convince them. At that point, the next question is, cool, do you want to be a customer or do you want to be a promoter? And that's honestly what I teach my team. And that works. That duplicates.
Awesome. Courtney, close us down here.
I would say always be ready to catch the ball. If you are new here, one thing that I've learned over and over and over is that this company, our CEOs, they're going to throw you that touchdown pass every single time. Every single time a new product, a promo is launched. Like they are always throwing passes, but you have to be in the game. These people that are hitting these rank advancement bonuses, yes, we have brand new people like Kelly and Mikey and your wife who are phenomenal rock stars, but we also have people like that have been in this business that have hustled like it was rank advancement bonus, whatever you call it. I'm so excited. Bonus season, even when it wasn't. And so whenever corporate was like, hey, I'm passing you the ball, they were already running. They already had their shoes laced up. They knew where they were going. They just didn't know what was coming next. And if I can emphasize one thing, it is that corporate always has our back. They are always thinking, I swear, like I feel like it's illegal what y'all roll out. It's not, but I feel like it's just so good. My husband looked at me and goes, there's no way they are going to pay y'all that much. And I was like, but they are. Be ready to catch the ball. You do that by taking your products, sharing your products that you love and plugging in, getting on these calls, like almost 6 years in, and it still just gets me so fired up hearing these stories because what we do is really, really special, y'all. And the products that we get to take every day, man, we're lucky. We are super lucky, but stay in the game and be ready to catch that pass.
Awesome. Look, I want to throw a huge thank you to everyone. I've been watching the chat as it's going. So yeah, this is recorded. We will compress it and it should get shared up on our fan page, on the Facebook page. If not, reach out to our social media team. They'll find a way to get this links to you. So, but other than that, ladies, Mikey, yourself, thank you all for your time and your effort for this. I hope everybody gained some good information on this of how they can grow their business, how they can get from brand promoter to 4K, 4K to 12K, 12K to 40K, and just keep, going to the moon on this. It's not difficult, just get people on Thrive, share your stories. Don't be salesy, just be passionate at this point. So with that, for everyone who's going to be at Thrivepalooza, I look forward to seeing you there. We have got some great things in store for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So you won't want to miss it. We're blowing the doors off of this one. So it's going to be a good time. If you're not there, I wish you can. Don't miss the next one. I realize there's a lot going on in this world, but this is one of those things, as Jason says, invest in yourself, invest in your business, find a way to get there. And other than that, I wish everybody a wonderful evening. Go have dinner with your families, go hug your kids, and then, get back to getting people on Thrive because that's where we all want to be. So with that, ladies, gentlemen, have a great evening and we will see you guys soon. All right. Good night, all.